The beginning is a very delicate time.
But who cares about that? Let's talk about Gladiator. I also have this one on VHS. And for all the people who came to this channel from this video, the VHS collection has grown quite a bit. So, that's pretty cool. Ridley Scott has tried so hard over the years. He had one great movie early in his career with Alien. He had a box office disappointment that was later reappraised with Blade Runner. Then he had about 10 years of decent but fairly forgettable movies during the 90s. Then in 2000 he realized he had one last great movie to make, made Gladiator, that made 20 years worth of sometimes alright movies, but none that were ever really that great. Then he made Gladiator 2. It was immediately added to the pile of sequels that tried to do exactly what the first one did, but somehow manages to figure out every mistake that the first one could have made, and then makes all of them. And of course, as with every sequel that comes out 20 years after the original, the first one was looked back on by everybody. That isn't, however, why I am reviewing this. I don't really care that the sequel is out, and I probably won't ever watch it, but I was interested in the first one, so here's a review. Just so you know, there will be tons of spoilers, so if you don't want those, then don't watch this. Gladiator is a 2000 film starring Russell Crowe, Connie Nielsen, and Joaquin Phoenix. Russell Crowe plays a general in the Roman Empire named Maximus, who leads a battle against a group of barbarians. After the battle is won, the Emperor, played by Richard Harris, comes to visit the location of the battle and speaks to Maximus. Maximus tells the Emperor that he wants to go home to his wife and son, but the Emperor wants Maximus to be the next Emperor, as he doesn't think his son Commodus, played by Joaquin Phoenix, is fit to rule. Commodus finds out about this, however, and kills his father. He then instructs his men to kill Maximus, but when he is about to be executed, he escapes and runs away to his home. When he arrives, he sees that his wife and child have both been crucified, and he faints from exhaustion and gets carried away by slave traders. We get a short psychedelic sequence before Maximus wakes up in a cage that's being carried into a town. When the traders arrive, Maximus and a few other men are bought by a man named Proximo, who is played by Oliver Reed. He begins training them to be gladiators, and Maximus begins fighting in local tournaments. He quickly gained popularity and earns the nickname of the Spaniard. In Rome, Commodus, who is now the emperor, organizes a 150-day-long event of gladiatorial games to celebrate his father's legacy and also gain the approval of the public. When Proximo hears about this, he tells Maximus that he was once a gladiator, who was freed by the former emperor, and advises Maximus to win the crowd to gain freedom. Proximo takes his gladiators to Rome, where Maximus briefly meets a boy named Lucius, who is the nephew of Commodus, and the son of Maximus's former lover, Lucilla, played by Connie Nielsen. Maximus prepares to fight and puts on the MF Doom mask. Maximus has to fight in a reenactment of the Battle of Zama as a Carthaginian. And while the Carthaginians are supposed to lose the battle, Maximus leads his team to victory. Commodus is impressed, so him and Lucius go to meet him. Commodus tells Maximus to remove his mask, and Maximus reveals himself and swears vengeance on Commodus, but doesn't attack because of Lucius. Commodus allows Maximus to live, and that night Lucilla visits him, but Maximus refuses any help. Commodus prepares a fight between an undefeated gladiator and Maximus, and during the fight, tigers are sent out on Maximus, but he survives, killing off the tigers and almost killing the other gladiator. But after the crowd and Commodus insist on him killing the gladiator, he refuses. Commodus taunts Maximus, but Maximus stays defiant. He soon discovers that his former legions are still loyal to him, and he meets with Lucilla and a senator named Gracius, played by Derek Jacobi. They agree to help Maximus escape from Rome so he can meet with his legions and oust Commodus by force and return power to the Senate. However, Commodus finds out about the conspiracy and sends his men to attack Maximus and the other gladiators. Proximo and the gladiators sacrifice themselves so Maximus can escape, but he is still captured. Commodus prepares a duel between him and Maximus to get approval back from the people, and to ensure he wins, he stabs Maximus before the duel begins. However, Maximus quickly disarms and kills Commodus. Before Maximus succumbs to his wound, he insists for political reform and the reinstatement of the Senate. As he dies, he arrives in the afterlife and reunites with his wife and son. The people honor him as a soldier of Rome as they carry him out of the Colosseum. Well, Ridley Scott really did his best with this one. The scope and size of this film is incredible. with a story similar to 50s epics like Spartacus and Ben-Hur. It was the second highest grossing film of 2000 and got 12 Oscar nominations, winning 5 of them, including Best Picture and Best Actor. The script for the film was constantly changed and rewritten during shooting, with the actors having to improvise much of the material, which makes it kind of surprising that it turned out so good. So, have you seen Gladiator? If you haven't, you should, and if you have, you should watch it again. Thanks for watching. See ya.